Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cerrado, I'm sure I butchered that, as I do with everything, edition of Farming Simulator 25, which includes a map from South America and several supporting mods. All of this will be released this coming Friday over to Giants Mod Hub for all platforms. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at coffee. Last week we took a look a bit at peanuts, another crop that is included with this pack. And we're also going to be taking a look at, well, an ag bagging solution that's coming with this kit. We didn't have that mod last week, but we have it this week. Here in Auger Wagons, we have the Raised Mech EMB SB500 for providing grain storage on the ground via a bag system. Here in North America, in the States, often referred to as an ag bag, which I do believe is kind of a brand as opposed to really a concept. Then we have the ESB180, which is going to be an auger solution to unload the bags. And then we have a the bag itself. So we're going to be trying to use that 230,000 liters in that bag. Something that I've wanted to see in the game a long time ago. I think it's going to be really popular for others. Bosman, I wouldn't say targeted specifically at him. There are plenty of people that have a support system, and that's nothing's wrong with that. You're gonna have subscribers or channel members, site members, membership. It's just you can't offer anything exclusive to members that isn't offered as a free option. So the membership on the site is, as I've described it many times, basically a free will donation to support him and his efforts and the team around him. Now, on the Hofbergman front, I do know that it is going into the autumn update. It's going into private testing soon with select content creator early access sometime next week. I don't know if I'm going to be a part of that or not. I probably won't know until I either do or don't get a link. We'll be talking a little bit about their post today. What does it mean? It also includes things like texture packs. So, maps where you have paid texture packs, those are also frowned upon. Basically, anything, any asset or anything Farming Simulator related. Giant stance. Sorry about that. Giant stance is it should be free. Free for all. Or free for PC only. What's up, Simper? How's it going? Have y'all put the fires out? I'm just glad I'm not still breathing in your smoke. Well, Bondsman, that is the question on enforcement. To date, enforcement's been difficult and spotty, where the only real leverage they have is the mod hub. So if you have a mod hub author that is also offering things outside the mod hub, which is legit, fine, in a paid fashion, not fine, then they can basically say, you know what, we can ban you from the mod hub and take all your mods off it. That then excludes that creator from being considered or available for consoles. But to some degree, the people doing this don't really care about console access to begin with. So, I wouldn't say it's an empty thread, but it's one that doesn't carry a lot of teeth when you don't really care about the mod hub anyway. It would preclude you possibly from things like the mod contest, which may have a little bit more weight. But as the game sits now, there's little enforcement that can be happened outside the main Giants mod hub. I mean, the best solution is telling people, quit paying for mods. Because if people would stop paying for mods, then people would stop offering them for purchase. And that's always been my thought, is we have a better chance of stopping this through education of people. Like, don't pay for anything unless you want to give them a donation. All right, we're gonna pause here. We're gonna get an auger wagon. Well, their terms of service clearly states that any mod is the sole creation ownership of the author that made it. Alright, so this is what we've done. I fired up the game, fired up the map. This is a new copy of the map, updated, and we own Farmland ID 58 at the start now, which is cool. Last week, that wasn't the case. Farmland 58 includes this dirt plot. When you load the map up, it's just empty dirt. At least it is as of this early access copy. So I took this to mean, hey, you can put coffee plants here. So I went into my build mode, right? We went to factories, we went over to cultivation, or your, name it, the orchard screen, and I kind of cheated. What I'd like to do is go into F4 mode, wireframe mode, and I zoomed to the point where I could see these grids, and I went every other grid. Every other grid for coffee. So if I were to lay out another one, I would start here and work up. Trying to keep them lined up as best I could. Now when the now when Beans and Alpacas release, this should be a lot easier for the official Giants coffee, because we would have the ability to just draw out the border of this area and tell the game, make this an orchard. And it seems like that's going to be possible with grapes and olives also in retrospect. Like I said, I like to just do wireframe mode. Let's get the initial layout. These could have probably been spaced closer together. I didn't really want to experiment, so I just quickly put these down. I, for one, am really looking forward to the ability to just say, make me an orchard, make me an olive grove, make me coffee plantation, whatever terminology you want to use. Just figure it out and do it for me. There, that's good enough. And then, of course, as we've demonstrated last week, we have two self-propelled coffee harvesters and one trailed coffee harvester. We're going to be using the trailed one a little bit. Well, we're going to use all of them a little bit. This was the one I had in the thumbnail. David, thank you for being a member for 34 months. But right now we're messing with this ag bag solution. So as I've mentioned, we have the Razmech silo pack included in the pack of mods that will be released on Friday, August 28th. The EMB SB500 is going to be our bagger, and it looks like we're going to dump product in the top, and it's going to put things into a bag for us. We have the bags themselves, which are going to hold 230,000 liters of product. And then we have this auger, which is going to use to unload the bag when we want to empty it. And I've not used this at all. I've messed with it just a little bit earlier today, enough to basically figure this part out. Right, so we have our bag. We have to back this thing up to our bag, and then we get a connect option. We connect, and boom, there we have our bag. So I'm going to disconnect from that. And I'm using the auger wagon because it's going to be easy to cheat and unload into the bagging solution. Buzzman, I don't know too much about the autumn update. Honestly, I struggle a lot with his Discord because it's exclusively in German. And I pretty much would have to copy and paste everything, put it in Google Translate just to figure out what's going on, which is sometimes not the easiest thing to do. So, honestly, I don't know really a lot of what's coming up. I've seen some screenshots, which make me think that we're going to have stags, male deer. It makes me think we're going to have the ability to hunt. And a few other things. So let me download. Let me download something real fast. And we'll show that. Then we'll talk about the Giants post. And then we'll talk about what does that mean for things like Hoffberg. Out of the way. Do your thing. Alrighty, here we have some imagery from Farmer Andy. So real quick, it looks like we have return of hops. Return of hops. Right, so there we go. We get the hops transport. Then we have the hops processing facility. What we've got a wild, is that a boar? I don't know why the character is next to the boar. They haven't ran away. Other than, I believe we have the ability to hunt animals. So we have shot our hunted wild boar. We have possibly another farm with a turnstile milking system. There's more. Let me download this other pack. Yeah, hold on. So, right, we are hunting boar. Pow pow. Pew pew, as I've heard some people refer to it. Right, these are kind of doctored a bit. New map. Oh, not a new map, a new farm. All right, we have stag. I don't have a download for these. This is just in Discord. Go ahead. I don't know what this is. It's building. So here we have our butcher doing field dressing at a hunting cabin of the stag. We have, I don't know, I guess this is birthing of animals, babies, I don't know. This does not look good. I think we have the return of dead animals or dying animals. Here we have a flashlight, and we have a pitchfork, shovel, a broom, a rifle, and a knife. Right, so those are some other screen grabs. That's about all I know. And it's going to go into internal testing this week, September 1st. It's going to start I think a kind of a press with what sounds like select creators. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. There you are. Well, while this guy does whatever he's doing. Oops. Stop. Stop. Let's talk about Giants' statement on mods today. That's the big news. Right, so you can find this blog post over on their website. I put the text in the community tab. So we got this statement from Giants on mods. Our position on mods are simple. Mods have to be free. Now, a question that has come up, sadly, from some partners, what's a mod? Is a mod if it doesn't show in the activation window? Is a mod something that is downloaded from Giants or not downloaded from Giants? By definition, a mod is anything that modifies the game. Modification. Anything that modifies the game. Technically, if you go in and change the XML to enable developer mode, you've modded the game. Technically, if you install custom shaders, you've modded the game. Okay? Anything that changes the base game is a mod, regardless of how it did it. All right? We'll start with that premise. Modding has always been an important factor in Farm Sim. Creativity, passion, countless hours invested by modders help shape the series and its community. We fully support modders being rewarded for their work. Creators may receive donations free will donation. I wish to give you money, but don't expect anything in return. Build communities, monetize videos and other content, and benefit from the opportunities offered through the official mod hub. However, access to a farming simulator mod itself should not require payment. Following is prohibited. So Patreon and other paid memberships. Now remember, this relates to access to mods. If I had a Patreon, and if I did, and it was paid, that's fine. If I was a modder and I had a Patreon and it was paid, that's fine. If I decided to offer to those paid members unreleased mods, that's not fine. If, as a result of being a member, you got access to a full collection of mods which have been released for previous games, that's also available free to download, that's fine, because it's not exclusively paid access. In theory, the person's paying for something else, to be a part of a community, but not to get something in return. Paid Discord roles or channels. Again, paying access to gain access to something that would normally not have, you wouldn't have access to. VIP access. So, in theory, if you give me money, then I'll give you exclusive mods. I'll make things for you. I'll give you custom textured things, whatever. Paid early access. That's technically a no-no. Donations required to receive a download. Well, then it's not a donation, is it? Because it's required to receive a download. Donations are free will between me and you. I expect nothing in return from the donation. Shop or marketplaces selling individual mods or mod packs. Okay. Restricted download speeds. This one's a little surprising, because in theory the mod's still free. It's just slower to get. Paid downloads and additional paid assets, such as shaders, textures, etc. So the maps, there's multiple map authors out there now that are doing this. Here you can have my map for free using low quality textures. Or you can download this for whatever, $9.99. High texture pack, and you can now have high quality textures to your free map. That is prohibited based on this new stance. We believe an open modding ecosystem is one that strengthens farm sim. Open modding drives creativity, makes it accessible to everyone, encourages collaboration. Therefore, it helps the community grow. Players should be able to discover, share, learn, and ultimately enjoy mods regardless of their ability to or willingness to pay. The donation should always be voluntary and should never determine whether someone accesses a mod or not. We recognize the enormous contribution modders make. We continue to find new ways to support and reward creators. Support creators, reward great modding, keep mods free. So that's the big kerfluffle today in the world of Farming Simulator and modding. What are your all's thoughts? Now, I will say that at one point today, there was a statement made by a Giants, I wouldn't say representative, because I don't know how much they fully represent or are of official voice in this matter. But there was a statement made by a Giants employee. They said something like, with respect to the throttle downloads, it's what's prohibited is creating a big obstacle to get the mod. Right? So, in the past, Farmer Andy putting things on RapidGator. Is that itself prohibited? To use RapidGator as a host? Because RapidGator is anything but rapid unless you pay RapidGator, which is different than paying for Hoff-Bergman. You're paying just for RapidGator access. Now, he did have fast links for supporters. Is that now prohibited? One could probably easily argue yes. It'll be interesting to see if the free download on the website is still slow. Now, to some degree, download speeds are limited not by only your connection, but the host's connection also. And if the host, let's say, has a gig connection to the internet, and the website has that gig connection to the internet, and there's 100 people downloading a file, well, your gig connection is split 100 ways. So that's going to be slower than if no one was asking for that file other than you. And you also have things like this access and other things. So it's kind of a complex affair, but having a throttled download by default seems to now be a no-no. Which puts me in a difficult place with Hoff-Bergman. Because for 9 years, I've had a stance that I support Giants' terms of service. Giants recently changed, well, I don't know how recent. Giants has changed their terms of service. It used to read different than how it reads now. So we come back to the website and we scroll to the bottom. There we go, terms of use. Okay. And we come down here to 6.2. Where is it? 6.2. 6.3. 6.3 used to reference the Giants editor. And it used to say anything made with the Giants editor must be free. Okay? But you can make textures without the Giants editor. You can make script mods, Lua scripts, without the Giants editor. 6.3 has now been changed. It's based to reflect any and all mods must be free, regardless if they're used the Giants editor or not. So, any rate, if the free download is still throttled, I gotta decide. Do I no longer support Hoff-Bergman? Or do I pretend in my mind that that isn't an issue? I don't know. I'm hoping I don't have that conflicted decision. But time will tell. Bozman, that was Rapid Gator. It was Rapid Gator doing that. At least limiting the number of downloads per day. I've never used Rapid Gator from an admin standpoint or from a creator standpoint to know if that's a configuration option or just something that happens with Rapid Gator. But we'll have to see. I have no idea what this guy's doing. Anyway, let's go try to put some crop into a bag. Well, Christopher, broken mods, I mean, that's just the broken mod. You find a broken mod, you should delete it. Delete it and quite possibly never download another thing that person puts out. Because if they're willing to just put out broken stuff. Alright, so let's see how this works. I need to use this tractor on the bagger because earlier I tried to connect. Oh yeah, we'll use this. Earlier I tried to connect the new Volter that comes with this pack to the bagger, and I wasn't successful in getting the PTO to work. Giants can't check to see if things are broken on mods that are hosted elsewhere. Alright, so we've attached our bag. Let's see how this works. Oh, there we go. All right, so I hit unfold, and now it's I guess anchored it to the ground. And is basically filling it with product. Desert Ox, as far as I know, itch.io is a completely free solution that modders can use. I think there is a file size upload limit. I think quite possibly there is paid accounts, but a modder could pay itch.io to support larger downloads. I think when Will was around, he was looking at various solutions to not use Nexus mods. And the big issue with itch.io was his maps were bigger than what they would allow you to upload for free. But in general, there's nothing wrong with itch.io's solution. And of course, they're, you know, if you want to offer, pay $3 for the mod, it's fine, you can. If you don't want to do anything, you just want to get the download, that's also an option. According to 230,000 liters, according to the store page. And it's all your traditional grain crops that would go into a normal silo. Well, Mr. Dio, this isn't Giants' red dirt. This is an independent map. From Connect Modding. So I have to see what the red dirt looks like, or the red clay, on their South American map. All right, let's jump over here. We've got the Jetco Airbus 2000. This is part of the mod pack. It's going to be the Jetco sprayer to spray your coffee plants. We have a bigger variant that holds 4,000 liters. Let's go fertilize our coffee. And we're also using the Valtra that is a part of this setup. And he's got a little trick up his sleeve where we can open and close the hood. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Bozman. Oh, this has got a cool little trick. I don't have to turn it off at the end of the row. It turns itself off. but does it prohibit? Or is it simply that you need the more animal pastures mod to do it because it's over the animal limit? I've never tried. It may be related to his custom animals. Well, I thought this sprayer was turning itself off at the end of the row, but now it doesn't look like it's doing it. I mean, the first thing I would do is try it with only the mods that come with it. Apps like that, you can really get yourself in trouble by layering too many other mods on, especially mods that modify custom things that are in the map. Alright, so we'll park that there. Hopefully this shows fertilized. I don't see it, but grow state 1 of 10. All right, let's run back to the farm. And we'll just add some grain to our bagger. Typically, David, it is the week before, and that depends on partner level. So, for example, back when I was bronze, we would get it Friday before release. It is a mod that is included with the pack, but not built into the map. So it should work outside of this map. And it should be released this Friday. Let's put some loads in here. We're not going to fill it up or anything. CW Gaming, we're on PC. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to show you this because it's not been released. Alright, that'll probably be enough. Once we unload this. We see it growing. All right. Everything you see here will be available to all platforms as of Friday. Alrighty, let's fold this up and let's try this detach, see what happens. Alright, there we go. We completed out the bag. Let's drop our bagger. Look up to this. When I was hauling this back, the tongue... Yeah, hold on. Oh, great. There we go. So, when you buy it, this thing is sticking out. This one is sticking out this way. So it'd be nice if this was folded up. Maybe I didn't do it right. Let me see, fold. X. See, that doesn't give us any choice. Alright, there we go. That's what we should have done. Right mouse button, left and right lets us fold that up. So I should have folded that up at the shop. But I didn't. Alright, let's put this over here. Connect. And we'll fold this up. Now let's see what happens. I've never tried this before. Try from this end. Bagging grain is a thing. I just don't know how it works right now. Maybe, hold on. Maybe it's like a silo where you gotta open it. Oh, how? That's odd. What's up, Nightwolf? Oh, looky here. Something over here. What the heck is that? Alright, we're not gonna mess with this too much longer. Oh, we had some pop. There we go. All right. Nightwolf, we're messing with an ag bag. Make sure we're lined up. There we go. All right. Let's go back and summarize. Oh, shoot. Okay. When we buy it from the shop, we buy the bagger. We buy at least one bag. And we buy the extrication silo auger thing. As we demonstrated earlier, we take our bagger and we place a bag box behind it. See if I can spawn one. I don't think I can. Any rate, we put the bag box behind this, and then we back this up to it, and we attach it, and then we basically unfold the bag, and when we unfold the bag, we can start to fill it. We buy this from the shop. We right click and we need to raise the tongue, and then we can drive this back to our farm. We lower the tongue, and then when it's time to use it, we connect up to this end. We hit X to fold it. And then we back it up to the end of the bag that we close. Okay? So we close this end. And when we get backed up enough, we get an attach option. You see it's basically rolled up the bag. We unfold the pipe, and then we hit X to, I guess, put this thing in a working position. And then it's unloading, right? So you put a trailer there or something, and as it's unloading, it's basically wrapping the bag up. Now, it's unclear and would require further testing is when this bag is empty, if it would be reusable. Or not. The fact that the box is technically still there. As you can see, we picked it up. Makes me think that once this is empty, maybe, just maybe, it's reusable. Alright. Let's fast forward and get to making some coffee. What's up, Lonnie to Goofy? And speaking of all these farm baron things, this video is brought to you by eRock467 and Ben Arn Malstad. Thank you for being farm barons. So our coffee has 10 growth stages. So we're in growth stage 3 of 10. I guess because of the fact that you know what? Hold on. I want to try something. I fertilized the field or the coffee and it didn't show it was fertilized. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe it's because precision farming is activated. And that doesn't work with orchard crops. So I want to see if I get fertilization now. So the map and everything you see here is part of the pack that is coming on Friday. We don't have any other vehicle mods activated. Yeah, now fertilized 50%. Go and spray this again, because why not? It's raining. Really is a nice quality pack. Well, maybe it stopped before because I drove into that other field. And if we look at our growth calendar, so coffee we can plant or place October to December, May to August is going to be ready to harvest. what's up, Raz? How's the family holding up? How's the kiddo doing? When do classes start? Our classes start tomorrow. For those that don't know, Raz's oldest child moved off to college last week. Or as the hip people say, he went off to university. Yeah, the photos you showed of all the piles of boxes and the Chewy box got me thinking it could have been repurposed, or it could have if that institution is like our institution and allows their quote support animals. It could have been to support a support animal. Okay. All right, now we are 40 Arise. Let's grab this other Voltra, which is part of the pack. It also has a pop top hood. So, unlimited grilled cheeses, huh? Well, last Thursday I was thinking about that our oldest, 4 years ago, was moving into college. And now, she's standing in front of her own classroom. How about a grilled cheese and peanut butter and jelly? I noticed the info said a yield bonus of 97%. I want to see if we mulch if we get it to 100. She is teaching kindergarten. I don't know if they have that down there. It's basically the grade before first grade. Oh, these lights are kind of yellow. Yeah, we call preschool. Whereas it should be available on the Mod Hub Friday, so it'll be a big drop. A big Mod Hub drop on Friday. Will include the map and all of these mods. Every single one. I feel like that's new. This is a big bag lifter, transporter. And all of these new brands are licensed for all platforms. I suspect it will work. My thoughts are that this has been a collaboration between Giants and Connect Modding, and everything included with this pack will work with Giants delivered coffee. I mean, in the end, it just needs to share the same fill type name. So assuming the output of this is coffee, and the output of the Giants coffee is coffee, even though they're calling it coffee cherries. It wouldn't look too good, or wouldn't be too player friendly to release this stuff in August, and then nearly 2 months to the day release the Beans and Alpaca DLC, and none of this stuff worked. That wouldn't be too player friendly. Alright, I'm not gonna cultivate it all. 97% still. And we also have productions, right? So we have a coffee bagging factory, coffee beans to make coffee bean bags. We have then coffee bean bags to make premium roasted coffee, or unbagged coffee to make regular coffee. We have a dairy, it's pretty standard, grain mill, Pretty standard. We have our peanut bagging factory. Then we have the placeable dairy and a placeable coffee factory. And again, we're working pre-release here. So I don't think I even have the final copy. Things have been added since last week. There we go, state 5. We got flowers. January, where do we have to go? We have to go till May. That's a lot. Seven of 10. So, who's had those thin mint Oreos? They're thin Oreos with the mint cream filling. I'm not a fan of Oreos, but thin mint Oreos, yeah, I got that number. They're quality. In fact, I think they need to be dunked in fudge or chocolate. Gross state 9 of 10. All right, let's go drop that off. Let's go get the mulcher and try to mulch. So, guess what tomorrow is, everyone? Or guess what this week is? This week is Gamescom in the Germany. Wonder if we're gonna have any announcements. Speculate. Speculate in the comments, please. We want to go grapes. This. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, disaster. Oh. Map has collectibles. Let's go see what they are. Oh. What is this? It's a can of coffee. Coffee mugs. $21. Throw it out of what? Oh, for Gamescom? Is it because GTA 6 or what? Alright, let's not get anything. What's up, Blue-Eyed Farmer? I don't think that did a darn thing. We're just gonna put this away then. We gotta get to May. All right, well, I guess we're at full growth now. April. What's up, Allie Lee? And yeah, one more month. You need my help. Alrighty then. Let's make some coffee beans. Ready to harvest. We're gonna pull this thing. I like this because it's cheap. Turn it on. Well, Allie, I don't know anything about the new update to Hall of Bergman other than some things I showed earlier. Alright, so we're tucking stuff on the back. Beans. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Other than the few things I showed earlier. Apparently we have the ability to hunt some stags. Seems to be a butcher at a hunting lodge. New farm. Some cow carousel. Other than that, I have no clue. Let's go get a real trailer. Guys, that's just some images that I have from the Discord. Literally, I don't know much. Because one, I don't follow anyone. I don't have the time to follow anyone on any social media. Two, everything in his Discord is in German. So anything that's typed out, I gotta copy it, I gotta paste it into something else, and tell me to translate it. I wish so much that there'd be some Discord plugin which would just convert everything written into English. Sorry, I thought I muted that. So, the few things that are written out in there, I'll look every so often. But I don't have time to sit there and copy paste everything. I'm wondering maybe if there's something in there I missed. Oh, I thought I'd already bought it. What's up, Cornell? I know the map is supposedly going into private testing this week. I know the update is supposedly going to select creators 1st of September. I don't know if I'm on that list or not. If I'm not on the list, that's fine. There we go. We can raise that up. Ah, they're red. All right, let's go try this other one. So we have the 3 harvesters. The self-propelled one, which we just showed off for 49,500. We have the larger of the 2 self-propelled, and then the smaller one. We can adjust the tent. And just like we saw with the harvester, if you have the Mercedes-Benz pack, we have cameras. That's fun. Well, the other thing, Allie, is with the blog post today the Giants put out with respect to their stance on mods. They stated that basically throttle download speed is a no-no. So I have to, I've got to make a decision here at some point. If I continue to cover Hofbergman at all. Unless hopefully that choice is taken out of my hands and Farmer Andy gets rid of the download throttling. Then I don't have to worry about trying to make a decision. Where they post this, it's a blog post on their website. I posted it on the community channel. It's been the latest buzz all day. It'd be pretty hard to not see it. Statement from Giants. Pretty much any Discord that's following Farm Sim should have got this post. Our position on mods is simple. Mods have to be free. And as I said earlier, a mod is anything that modifies the game. Any change to the base game is a modification. Therefore, a mod. Giant stance, as of today, they have to be free no matter what. Prohibited. Patreon or other paid memberships to get access to mods. Modders can have Patreons. Modders can have paid memberships. That's fine. But when a modder puts mods behind paid memberships, they're not free. So that's a no-no. Paid Discord roles or channels. Again, as long as there's no mods behind those paid roles or channels, it's fine. But the instant you put a mod behind it, that's a no-no. VIP access. If you give me $5, I'll give you special access to mods that no one else gets. That's a no-no. If you give me $10, I'll make a custom modded vehicle for you. That's a no-no. Paid early access. That's a no-no. For me in the past, I felt Farmer Andy saying, you know what, supporters get to test the map for 2 weeks before general release. Personally, I was fine with that because it's like, hey, if you want to shell out a few bucks to get access to a map a few weeks earlier than everyone else, then you probably got more money than time. Fine. Plus, you're beta testing. Hopefully, you're actually reporting the things you find. But paid early access for the new stance, so no. A donation required to receive a download is not a donation, because a donation by definition expects nothing in return. If I give you $5 as a donation, it's $5 out of my pocket into your pocket. Transaction's over. We're both happy because I don't expect anything in return. If I give you $5 and I expect to get something from it, it's not a donation. It's a transaction. Shops or marketplaces selling individual mods or mod packs? No. Sell it. Restricted download speeds. Prohibited. That's the sticky point. That's the sticky point now, isn't it? So over the last 9 years, I have been very outspoken about respecting the modder. Only getting mods from authorized locations. Only getting mods from the official source. I've also been outspoken about paid mods and the Giants' terms of use. And as a 1, Giants partner, 2, Giants cultivator, one needs to not bite the hand that feeds you. One should respect Giants' wishes. The restricted download speeds, if I just ignore this and just continue to talk about Hoff-Bergman, show it off, willingly I'm ignoring what they're saying is a no-no. I have a few weeks maybe to figure out if I'm fine with that or not. If I'm going to throw 9 years of reputation away or not. Paid downloads and additional assets such as shaders, textures. We've had maps be released recently. The map is free, but if you want high quality, high definition textures, you can give me an additional few bucks. And then I'll give you a high def pack that you can add to your free map. That is now prohibited or classified as a no-no. Okay? Keep mods free. Anything and everything related to Farm Sim that modifies the base game is a mod and therefore should be free. That's their stance. Now, the reality is, how do they enforce that? Can they enforce it? Do they have any teeth to their statement, or are they just making a statement for the sake of making a statement? And if you have low morals or no morals, then you don't really care. Because your stance might be, well, what are they going to do about it? And if that's your stance, that's your stance. Oh, we got cameras again. of Ozman, but then it's just changed the name of the mod, and it's different now. In fact, well, there was a certain modding group. I don't even know if they're still around. In a previous farm sim that did that very thing. If you activated their mod, they had code that would explicitly prohibit other people's games from launching if they had a mod activated, particular mod activated, that they didn't agree with. Now, the check was pretty juvenile, and that really it just looked for a name match, changing the name of the mod to a different name. Suddenly you can launch the game and have the two mods activated together. But that's history for another day. How do they hurt giants? I don't think they hurt giants at all. How they hurt players? I don't know, other than maybe establishing a sort of I don't know. What you want to call it? Establishing a sort of sense of being better than others. Well, I've got this mod and I paid $20 for it. Well, good for you. Some people are like, well, SCS allows paid mods. Well, that's fine. But if Jimmy jumps off a bridge, are you going to do it too? Read their blog post. They go into a little bit more on it. But Giants has their own reward system, as Schultz is alluding to, on the official mod hub. Mod authors that upload to the official mod hub are paid some amount of money per 1,000 downloads. And that money varies based upon the star rating. So a 4.5 star mod will pay out more than a 3-star mod, for example. It incentivizes people sending things to the mod hub as opposed to not. It's also the only way to get your mod on console, which is the larger player base. In essence, they want mods to be available for anyone and everyone. You're not prohibited from releasing your mod off the mod. And if you want to profit from your work, submit it to the mod hub. You could say Giants wants to be the only one paying modders. So, those on Discord will know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to name anything here. But there was a map that I was looking at recently, doing a video on. I'm pretty sure I looked at doing a video on this map months ago. And I didn't do a video then because I think, if I'm remembering right, the required mods were all bundled together in a single bundle. And given my stance of supporting the modder, using mods from the true source, I was against that because mods released on the Mod Hub are suddenly in a bundle, and the people aren't getting credit for the download. Mods not on the Mod Hub are in a bundle. People aren't getting the option of providing a donation, should they wish, to the mod authors. Well, that had changed. They had linked it out to all the various sources, but some of the required mods were pay to play. They maybe weren't for a while. With a very, very recent update, it was like, oh, you want this? Well, you $20 and I'll give you this mod pack, which includes these 2 required mods needed for this map. I was like, nope, not happening. I'm not covering the map. I think their idea on the reduced download speed is that they want mods to be easily obtainable. And their thought is, well, if it takes you 5 hours to download something that would typically in 2026 take 5 minutes, is that an unreasonable barrier to entry? You're paying with your time versus your money. Maybe that's what they're thinking with respect to reduced download. Again, hopefully, I don't have to make that choice. Hopefully, in the coming weeks, the slow downloads on the particular website will go away. You can still offer supporter benefits. They just can't be, in theory, early access to testing, early access at all, or faster downloads. If you take Giants' stance as it's written, literal, which I don't know any other way really to interpret it at this point. All right. Let's go figure out where these the bagging plant. There it is. Coffee bagging factory. Let's go bag some coffee. And then, Raz, you've got the right idea. We'll probably be cutting it off here. I gotta get up early. Do keep an eye on the channel for any information that may be happening this week. Depending on if maps drop on Wednesday, we may or may not be live streaming on Wednesday as well. Like I said earlier, Gamescom is this week, and the Giants has historically using the show as a vehicle for new information. That's all I want to say about that. But this is a nice map. It'll be interesting for players to use and explore this in the coming 2 months leading up to Beans and Alpaca. Oh, the deep fog. All right, here we are. So this is a cool little facility. We climb the hill. And we unload. Well, I thought I was unloading the other way, but okay. And let's activate. I do wish we had animation on things. And ultimately we're going to get pallets of coffee beans. 960 liters. Per pallet. Like I said, thank you all for coming out, watching, and spending the last few hours with me. I'm all over Giants' stance on mods. Be aware and be conscious that at no point in time should anyone ever have to pay to play. If you want to give a free will donation, that's fine. If someone's offering donations, that's fine. But if you have to pay to get access to something, it's not worth it. Move on. There's plenty of other things out there to use. You don't need to be paying for anything with respect to Farm Sim other than official DLC and of course the game itself. Until next time, happy farming.